All right, and so welcome to another episode of the Career Support Network. My number one goal is to inspire and to help as many career professionals as I possibly can live the life and career of their dreams. And so, over the past month, I've been meeting some really amazing business owners and career professionals who are doing great things in business. And so, today I have with me Christelle. And so, Christelle, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
Hi, Amanda. Hi to all the listeners. I'm really happy to be here today. My name is Crystal Biga. I am what I call a spiritual teacher and is an expert speaker. So I'm originally from Cameroon. That's why you have this beautiful accent. And now I live in Los Angeles, California. And what I do is I take people on a journey back within to remember who they really are. They are to reconnect with their divine nature in order for them to experience a limitless human life. So that's what I do. Basically, I help people. Usually, my clients are female coaches, female entrepreneurs that just need something more than just a strategy and a technique.
Right, right. That's awesome. That's awesome. How did you get started with that?
Yes, that was actually my personal journey. When I started in my business, I started as a transformational coach because I knew from the get-go that I wanted to help people, above the strategy. But I was really more talking about transformation is in terms of mindset work, alignment work, and all of that. But I during my own personal journey, it became more spiritual than anything else. I realized that the alignment that is so dear to my heart, is so important to me, actually is deeper than just feeling good about what you're doing in your business or being showing up in authenticity. It's way deeper than that. It's really who you are in essence. I remember that we are 100% human and 100% divine. So the alignment work I took myself and that I'm sharing with my clients now is to reconnect our human and our divine to make things easier, because from that place we can create things just like magic. From that place we get inspired and we can actually make a difference, because I believe that's what entrepreneurship is about: making the world a better place or solving problems for people. And the greatest entrepreneurs of history are visionaries, are people that see things that people don't see first. We have the Thomas Edisons, we have the brothers Wrights. Those people, nobody can convince me that the things they thought about, they wanted to do, they decided to create as entrepreneurs, were not from the divine part of who they were. Because the human brain didn't know we can fly an aircraft before those two guys decided to create an aircraft and make it fly. It took something more than the human to see that vision and to bring that into reality. So I help
Awesome.
entrepreneurs reconnect to that part of ourselves that take us to that place of seeing bigger things and making them happen.
Awesome, awesome. And so, what are some of the mistakes that you feel like you've made on your career journey and coming into being a business owner that you can share with other people?
Yes. So before being a coach, actually, I was even in the corporate world. I was a manager. So there's a lot of mistakes, right, that we make, because that's how we learn as also. One of the things that I have learned, even when I was still in the corporate world, was that it's really important, really, really important to listen to yourself. When I was in the corporate world, when I became a manager, I had no qualification for the position, right? I wasn't trained to be a manager. I was in the company for barely, it wasn't even a year yet. And the HR told me that has never happened before, that somebody becomes a manager in less than a year. But when they even offered me the position, I wanted to get into my head and started asking, oh, but how am I going to do this? I don't have the qualification, right? I just started. And I'm even new in this country. My English wasn't even that good anymore yet. So I was like, am I qualified? Am I really ready for this? So one of the mistakes people do is to judge themselves based on a checklist that we look around and we think we want to compare. Okay, the people that became manager before me had this many years of experience. The people that achieved this kind of results have this many years of experience, have this background, have this training. I don't have it. So I was disqualifying myself based on those checklists that we have in our heads. Those are not even true. Those are illusions we create. But we want to rule our lives based on those illusions. So that's a big mistake that almost cost me that promotion, because I even said no first. They had to push me to apply because they saw in me something that was above that checklist. So that was a big mistake that almost cost me that position. And even when I became an entrepreneur, that mistake even also almost cost me, being where I am today. Because when you start a new business, so you become an entrepreneur, it's something new. You have never done that before. So you don't know what you're doing. The tendency is to look around, see what other people are doing and compare and say, oh, but okay, this person is showing that it took her 5 years to get there. So I guess I need to prepare for 5 years. No. Again, you are limiting yourself if you want to look and compare what is my background, how am I trained for this, am I expert yet? No, so that place of looking at the checklist, looking at all the boxes we need to check in order to get where we want to go, that's the biggest mistake for me, I believe. Because what you want to achieve doesn't matter your background, really. It really doesn't matter how prepared you are, how trained you are, how many answers you have to all your house, right? It doesn't matter. If you want to do it and the opportunity shows up, seize it, jump in, take it. Maybe you are in a company and there is an opening. Your heart is pulling you to apply, and there you are trying to check all the boxes, but do I have the certification for that? Do I have the right training? Do I have the right experience? All of the things. And you might disqualify yourself when maybe at the end of the day you had the skills, the natural skills, and you were ready to learn, maybe on the job, who knows, and do a great job.
Yeah. Wow, this is really good. This is really good. And so I see that so many times. I have so many clients who have no experience whatsoever, and then they end up in like mid-level and executive level positions. And the other people are like, how did you do that? And so, so that's really good advice that you're sharing. That's really going to help a whole lot of people. And so what are some of the best practices, some of the things that they should do in order to actually get to the next level in their career?
Okay, one of the best practices that helped me is when you start a career, right? When you start a job somewhere, you have to start with the vision. Don't just see it as a job. Go there with a goal for yourself. I want to become this or that in the company. That will help you show up differently. Because if you go to a job just for the paycheck, just for the money you're making right there, you don't see beyond that point, it's going to be hard for you to go up, right? To get the promotion. And you will just, be there at the game making the money and then you will be frustrated. You don't understand why other people are getting the position. Before I got that job I was sharing about, I remember when I was taking some English classes, I just started here. One of my teachers shared with us an exercise, and she told us, okay, you guys are looking for jobs and all the things. See yourself 1 year from now. Where do you see yourself? And I remember specifically writing that, when I would get a job 1 year from now, I want to be a supervisor in the company, making, I think I wrote $25 an hour, whatever. I didn't even know where I was going to get a job or whatsoever. And guess what? I got a job, and less than a year, I didn't just become the supervisor. The supervisor position actually came barely 6 months after I was in the job. And less than a year, the timeline I set for myself, I became the manager. Not because I was the smartest one in the room, not because I didn't have more experience than my other coworkers that were there. Some of them were there for 4 years, right? I started at the exact same level, but I came already knowing where I was seeing myself 1 year from the day I started that job. For me, it wasn't just, okay, this is a job that will allow me to pay my rent and pay my bills. No, I had a vision. I knew, okay, this is where I'm going. And because I had that vision, I will not show up at work as just a regular employee that's just, okay, it's my time is up, I'm going, I'm leaving. I was showing up as a leader already. That's probably why when the manager position opened up, they asked me to apply, even though I wasn't even seeing myself being at that manager position, because they saw the way I was showing up. And the way I was showing up was based on the fact that I knew where I was going. I didn't see myself just as a regular agent, just coming, clock in, clock out, and do my job and go home. I was coming there knowing that my end goal is to be a supervisor at that point, right? So the way I was showing up was different, and people feel that energy. The way you show up, people see it, people feel it. So it just made sense when those positions opened, like the supervisor, the manager. It made sense. They saw in me more than just an employee. They saw in me a supervisor, a leader, because that's how I was showing up. And why was I showing up that way? I decided that that's where I was going. So I think that's one of the best advice I can give to someone. And I think it's Steve Harvey that said, begin with the end in mind always. You apply to that job. What is the end goal for you? Is it just a job, or you have a vision for that job? Where are you going? What is your goal in 1 year from now, 2 years, 5 years? Where do you see yourself? And start showing up from that place.
All right, awesome, awesome. And so you mentioned something. You said, where would you be like a year, 2 years, 5 years from now? Did you hear that question in your job interviews?
They asked me that. Actually, they didn't. Or
Oh,
if
they did.
they didn't ask
Oh,
me
okay.
that. Interestingly enough, because of the way I was at LAX actually, and it's an environment where people come and go a lot. So probably that's why they don't ask, because they're not really sure if you're going to stay for 2 years or something like that. But they didn't ask me that. And if they have asked me, I would have probably said, I'll see myself as a supervisor, because I remember that's what I wrote during that exercise in the classroom. So that's exactly where I was seeing myself. And it's really important to have a vision.
Okay, okay. What are some of the myths, some of the things that you found about either searching for a job or being in business for yourself that you found that wasn't true?
What is true, what happened in someone else's path is not the rule. End of the story. I have learned that, from the corporate world, there's no rule that, okay, if somebody was there before you, they will make it before you. That didn't work. I got there less than a year. I was ahead of people that were there 4 years, 5 years before me. And
Mm-hmm.
in the business world, same thing. It's not because somebody has been struggling for the last 3 years and they start barely making money on the fourth year, it makes it a rule for you. No, we are all on our own journey, and it's important to decide what are the rules you are going to play by. Are you going to limit yourself to what other people are doing, or are you going to create the vision for yourself and make it happen? Because if you make someone else's story your story, guess what? You are missing out on great opportunities.
Yeah.
It's not because it doesn't work for other people. It's not because other people have been trying and it didn't work out that it's not going to work out for you. I love to ask this question, and I always ask my clients when they say, but it's not possible. I always ask, says who? Says who?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not possible to make it in 2 years. Says who? But it's not possible to make it unless I have this. Says who? I remember in the beginning of the year when I started to add speaking in my coaching business, I started checking on Google how to apply for speaking gigs and all of the things. I needed a website. I needed the signature talk. At the time, I didn't even know what the signature talk is. I didn't have a website. So I was disqualified. There was no way for me to even think about applying to. But because I know that if it is required, there is at least one place that I will not need all those things. I've come to that place of knowing that I make the rules for myself in my life. I make the rules. If I decide I'm going to be a speaker, I will find a way. And then I stayed in that place of, I don't care. I don't have a website. I don't even know what a signature talk is. But I decided that I'm going to be a speaker, and I'm doing it. Few weeks later, sure enough, the opportunity to join a coaching program, 4 weeks coaching program, to write a signature talk showed up. And I joined the program. But 1 week in the program, without even, maybe we have completed one module at that point, I applied for a speaking opportunity and I was booked for an event before even knowing the title of my speech.
Wow.
Yes, but if I had decided to, oh yeah, but the other people told me that you need this, you need that, you need a video showing how you can speak, you need this, you need that. They told me that that's how everybody starts. If I have gone by other people's rules, I would have
Right.
missed out on my opportunity to create what I wanted for myself.
Awesome, awesome. And so your main thing is create a vision for yourself. Get a mentor, of course. When you get to that point um, of getting into the career that you want to get into, and also, well, the main thing was creating a vision and making sure that you have that vision first before you get out there, and don't try to follow someone else's path to get to your goal. And that's awesome. And so, what are you working on right now, Christelle?
Actually, what I'm working on is creating my own events, and I'm working on creating the first retreat. It's going to be virtual at this point until we can get back together again. So I will have a retreat where I will be sharing with people. I will have a few group, like 10 people, where we will discuss on how to get to that place of creating the reality you really see yourself in. Once you have created that vision, what is standing between you right now and you in the vision? Because you have to become the person in that vision for that vision to come true. And the gap there is not the all the hows. How am I going to do it? What is the step-by-step process? There is a place for the strategy, but the person that applies the strategy, who is that person? That's the piece we are going to work on. You need to remember who you really are, how powerful you are. You need to see yourself as an unlimited being. You have to remember your divinity in order for you to, first of all, create the right vision. Because even in creating the vision, if you limit yourself, come in that creation by with your limiting beliefs, you will create a vision that you think you can achieve, not the vision you really want. Because maybe the vision you really want is so big that you start disqualifying yourself already with your limiting beliefs, and you start to create something that for your brain is manageable. So I will take you in the place of seeing yourself as who you really are in order for you to really create the vision that you want, because you are limitless. You can create anything. And from that place, you become the person that can now apply the strategies that actually work, because you will know the exact strategy. Sometimes you will even come to you when you are ready. As they say, when the student is ready, the master shows up. So when you are not ready, sometimes you can't even find the right coach or the right strategy or the right coaching program because you are confused. You lead from fear, you run around. But when you are in your power, you make the right decision, you make the right moves. So that's going to be the purpose of that retreat, really take people on that place of self, of remembering how powerful they are and lead from that place.
Awesome, awesome. And so, when is the retreat?
The retreat is going to be in December. I haven't actually set up the date. It's probably going to be on the 27th of December. I know, between Christmas and New Year Eve, probably perfect timing to start the new year.
Okay, perfect, perfect. How can people get in touch with you?
So the easiest and fastest way to reach out is probably on Facebook, Crystal Biga. Just DM me. Or you can also check out my website, crystalbiga.com, and fill out the in contact form. But the easiest and fastest way definitely is to reach out on Facebook. I would love to have a conversation and see if you qualify for the retreat.
All right, awesome, awesome. And so, what is one final thing that you want people to know?
What are the things that I want people to know?
Yeah.
I just want people to remember that, again, I want to say that over and over again. You are not just the physical being you are seeing when you look in the mirror. You are way more than that. You are way more than what you have learned in school or in programs and all of the things. You are way more than what you think you are capable of. You are way more than what they told you you can do or you can achieve. You are way more than all the rules that, apply in your company, in your business, in your industry, whatever it is. You are way more than that. And it's important for you to remember that and reconnect with the part of you that is bigger than all of that, that can see far beyond what your physical eyes can see, so that you can see the big vision you came here to achieve, so that you can see the exact aligned actions that you need to take that will make your journey faster and easier than ever before. So I want you to remember who you really are, how powerful you are, and how limitless you are.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today, Christelle. We hope to have you back on again soon. And I will get the links and things from you so that you could go ahead, so we can share it in the description box so people can reach out to you to see if they qualify to attend the retreat.
Thank you so much, Amanda. It was a great pleasure to be your guest today. Thank you for all the listeners that were here. I hope this was valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you again soon.